Alright fam, how you doing? So I have everything laid out here ready. I'm going to actually be using my gloves today to cook, to prepare my meat. And so I'm just going to, it should be good right there for y'all. Okay, so I already seasoned my, I'm using ground turkey, so I already seasoned it. Season your meat to your liking. If you're using ground turkey, ground chicken, whatever your choice is. So again, I'm using ground turkey, so I already seasoned it. And then the cheese that I'm using is I have this Cracker Barrel cheese, and they're like the cheese sticks. But again, you can use whatever type of cheese you want. It doesn't even have to be cheese stick. It could be shredded cheese. It could be a block of cheese, and you cut it up. However you want to do it, that's your choice. And I've already went on ahead and took removed them from the packet. And so now also you're going to need some parchment paper. This is the one that I use right here. Just any parchment paper will do. And then also have a dish here to put my my burger cheese-filled burger sticks in. Okay. And so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to grab some of my meat. And then now what you're going to do is you're going to start to press it down into your parchment paper. And I have another video where I did a sausage and burger combination where I did demonstrated the same thing, how I just press your meat down on your paper. And now you can have your cheese-filled burger, the length of this, you can cut it in half. You can make it however big, small, that you want, okay? So now I'm just going to spread it out. And then also as far as your meat, the layering of your meat, you want your meat thick enough that it's going to cover the cheese. You don't want your cheese to be oozing out of your meat while it's cooking. So you don't want to make it too thick, but you want to make it, enough where, like I said, it's going to cover. But I'll show you. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my cheese, all right? And then also important, make sure you leave enough on the ends so when you roll it, you'll also be able to seal your ends, because you don't want the cheese to come and end up oozing out of the ends either, okay? So I hope that makes sense. But just watch me, like I said, and I'll show you what I'm doing. So I'm just adding some more here, on this end to give it that, extra length. Okay, so now, all right, so I move it close to the edge. Let me wipe my glove and then pan in some more. Okay, so that's how it looks, right? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start to roll this, okay? So you're just going to lift it up from the bottom and literally just fold it over. And then you're going to press, right? You see how I'm pressing? Okay, you're going to press on it to start to form that fold and to cover your cheese. You want to make sure your cheese is encased in here really well, as I said. So now I'm going to pull this back. You see how that looks? Then I'm going to fold it again. Okay, and I'm going to press. Now you can choose to make it in a circular motion, or you can just have it flat and shaped like the cheese. Again, it's your choice. Okay. So that's how it looks. That's how it looks on this side. Smooth it out. Now, unfold it. So now I'm going to also fold my ends. Just seal it in. Okay, just fold and seal. Okay. So you see how that looks? So now, as you notice, you don't see any cheese anywhere, right? Okay. That's how it looks. So now I'm going to sit this in my pan. Oops. Let me pan your back. Oh. Oops. Whew. Okay, so now I'm just gonna sit this here in my dish and then just work on the rest of them. Okay, so repeat the process. Okay, just flatten it out. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a small one. I'm going to actually break my cheese in half and do a smaller version so you can see different sizes. And just spread it out. Take your time with it. And so now, family, with these appetizers, these are good for, you can do them for cookouts. You can do them for a wedding. You can prep them the night before and then just the next day cook them. Or you can cook them the day before, because the good thing about them is once you heat them up, you know, the cheese is going to melt on the inside. They're good for, like, if you're doing cookouts, you can make them in advance and then just, you know, again, just take them to your cookout, put them in a tin pan, and then put it under a burner. So you have the pan with the water in it for the steam, and then you sit your appetizers on top of that, and it's going to heat it up, and then again it's going to always melt that cheese on the inside. Okay, and then also warn your guests that they are filled with cheese, so they can beware, it's hot. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and break this in half, and again I'm just going to add it in there. I either turn it this way as well, so we're going to do it this way, but if I go this way I want to make sure I spread it out again so I can have enough closure for the ends. Okay, so I'm going to put it on, and again I'm just going to go ahead and fold and press. Okay, you see that? So remove it, then fold again. Put your hand there, fold it again, and just bring it all the way around. Flip it over, just fold it. Okay, make sure you close your ends. And then boom. Okay? And then just smooth it out really good. Again, just make sure your ends are nice and sealed. And you don't see the cheese at all. Okay? So now you see the size in this one. And then the size in that one. So you see the difference? So you choose how big or small that you want them, okay? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish prepping the rest of these, and then I'll pop back in. Alright, G-Squad, so I finished rolling my cheeseburgers stick. That's what we call them, cheeseburger sticks. So I ended up getting out of that pack, it was about a 3-pound pack of meat, you know, the one that comes like about that size. And so with this long one, this is about the equivalent of 2. So it yielded about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, you know, based on the size that I made them. So now I have my pan heating up. To the pan, I'm just going to go ahead and add some of the sunflower / olive oil to this. But you can use whatever type of oil you choose. And so I'm just going to add enough just to coat my pan. And I'm just going to allow this to heat up. Okay, so allow it to heat up, you know, nice and hot. So when you put that in and you get that nice sizzle, that nice char. Alright, so I'm just going to give this like a few minutes, and then I'll pop back when it's hot. Alright, G-Squad, so our pan is hot enough, and I have my heat on medium. Okay, so now I'm going to start to add. I'll start with the babies. Add those in, and try not to crowd your pan, family, okay? Get them all in there. I'm going to add this large one in here now. You pan back some, family. Just a little bit. Back, girl, back. The other way. Okay. Okay, so I'm adding, oops, let me move this, y'all. So I'm adding Big Bubba. And then my last two. Okay. Just out of the way. So. Alright, so now we're just going to allow this to cook, you know, for a few minutes on each side. Let me come in. And then we're going to just rotate it as we go through. You're going to have to keep, you know, rotating. Oops. Keep rotating, you know, to each side. As each side browns, you're going to turn and turn and turn until it's fully cooked through. And leave it on like a medium heat. Let it take its time to really cook all the way through. It smells so good. It smells good. The seasoning. Oh, and speaking of seasoning, I'm going to, because the cheese has salt in it already, and then also once they're done, I'm going to also go ahead and I'm going to baste it with this Steakhouse old-fashioned sauce. This has salt in it as well. When you season your meat, just try to concentrate more on adding spices, herbs and spices to it as opposed to the salt, okay? I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Okay, so I don't know if y'all can see how it's, you know, they're browning. And then what I like to do is, so it won't stick to the pan, just kind of like, you know, you just want to move it along just to make sure, like I said, it doesn't stick from cooking in the same spot for too long. Just give it like a little shift. Okay, like so. Alright, so I'm going to pop it in a few minutes when I'm ready to rotate them. Alright family, so it's been about, they've been going for about 3-4 minutes, or 4 minutes, so now I'm going to start to rotate them. So you see how it's browning? And so far so good. I don't see any cheese seeping out. Okay, let me get my fork to help me flip this one. Okay, so the same thing, I'm going to allow them to just cook for a few more minutes and then just continue to rotate. Okay family, so as you can see, some of the cheese has oozed out of my the meat, which is still fine. So these smaller ones are just about done, and you see the little char on them. So now just continue to rotate them. So now I want the sides to be cooked. I want that char on them, so I'm just going to keep rotating. Just keep rotating. So as you can see, the larger one is going to take longer than the smaller ones. Okay? Rotate. So now, let me turn this one. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is that sauce that I showed you earlier, I'm going to go ahead and now, let me lower the heat on this. So now I'm going to baste them with the sauce. Y'all look at that. Bring her in. Woo. Okay, that. Okay. So I'm just basting them now. Okay, look how they look. Oops. Okay. Alright, G-Squad, so they are done. So go ahead and remove them. That's the larger one. This is how it looks. Sorry about the background noise. Okay. Yeah, see that, fam? Nice and juicy and cheesy. Whoop. Sticking to the pan, the cheese. Okay. Yeah. That's how this looks. So let me neaten it up. You know how I am with the presentation, and then I'll pop back in. All right, y'all. So here we go. Okay, so cut it again. And there's your cheese. Okay, so you see the cheese. Oops, yeah, focus, focus. Okay. Then you have your sauce on the outside. Yep. Yep. Yes, family. Oh my goodness. Here we go again, see? So family, I hope you have enjoyed this video. And, excuse me y'all. If you do decide to try this recipe, you know, let me know how you like it, how it came out. And, you know, again, just have fun with it. It's something that you can literally cook the day before, you know, a prep, and then overnight cook it early, and then just heat it up, you know, and serve it as is. With the long one, you can even have it in a hot dog if you choose. So you can put toothpicks in them, make them hors d'oeuvres. You can make them small. You can make them like in meatballs. Okay, there's so many things that you can, you know, do with it. But, you know, it tastes so good. So family, again, please make sure if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Comment below. Give this video a thumbs up. And, yeah, so I look forward to seeing y'all in the next video. Love you guys. Mwah.